In the last video, we discussed about how to get the square root of a perfect square number. Today, we're going to discuss how to get the square root of a non-perfect square. Mind you, this is interesting. And it is easier, it's funnier, it's simpler than what you think. Okay, last time, we learned how to get the square root of perfect squares. Like, for example, the square root of 64 is 8. Square root of 121 is 11. Now, today, what about finding the square root of a non-perfect square? For example, square root of 7. Today, I'm going to teach you a very easy and simple way of getting the answer. Let's start the ball rolling with our example number 1. What is the square root of 12? Square root of 12. To find the answer, what is the perfect square closest to 12? What is the perfect square lesser than 12? That is 9, right? And then, the perfect square greater than 12 is 16. And there are two ways to solve this. Okay? Either we express 12 in terms of 9 or we express 12 in terms of 16. And the first one to do is we express 12 in terms of 9. That means 9 plus 3. And 9 plus 3 is 12. Okay? And the other one is 12 in terms of 16, that is 16 minus 4. 16 minus 4 is 12. So that means we have two ways of solving square root of 12. And whichever of the two we are going to use, we will arrive into the same answer. We know that the square root of 9 is 3. Okay, so that is 3, and that is plus. Plus. So, we copy this one, 3, and we double this. That means 3 times 2. That is 6. We can simplify 3 over 6 by dividing both by 3. And that is 3 plus 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. And we know that 1 half is equal to 0.5. Okay, so therefore, 3 plus 0.5 is 3.5. Square root of 12 is equal to 3.5. A very easy way. Right? Now, let's solve the second method. That is, square root of 16 minus 4 is equal to 12. And we know square root of 16 is 4. Minus sign, and then we copy 4 and we double this. That means 4 times 2 is 8. Can be reduced into its simpler form by dividing both by 4. That means 4 minus 4 divided by 4 is 1. 8 divided by 4 is 2. Again, 1 half is equal to 0.5. 4 minus 0.5 is 3.5. We get the same answer. So, whichever is convenient to you, either of the two, you will end up with the same answer. Okay, let's find out the square root of 28. Well, the perfect square nearest to 28 is 25. So we will express this 28 in terms of 25. And that is equal to 25 plus 3. 25 plus 3 is equal to 28. Now, square root of 25 is 5. Your plus sign, copy the number 3 over double your 5, and that is 5 times 2 is 10. Okay? What is 3 over 10? If you are going to use your long method, 3 over 10, 3 divided by 10 cannot be, so we add 0, decimal point. 30 divided by 10 is 3. And 3 times 10 is 30. 30 minus 30 is 0. And that is 5 plus 0.3. 5 plus 0.3 is 5.3. Therefore, square root of 28 is equal to 5.3. So it's interesting. It's easy and simpler, right? Let's take another example. Let's take the square root of 62. What is the perfect square closest to 62? 7 square is 49 and 8 square is 64. That means the closest perfect square is 64. Now, we are going to express 62 in terms of 64. That means square root of 64 minus 2. 64 minus 2 is 62. And then, what is the square root of 64? It is 8. Minus 2. Double your 8. 8 times 2 is 16. And 2 over 16 can be reduced into simpler form by dividing both numerator and denominator by 2. And that is 8 minus 2 divided by 2 is 1. 16 divided by 2 is 8. And if you're going to simplify this, 1 divided by 8, 1 divided by 8 cannot be, so we add 0. Okay? 10 divided by 8 is 1. 1 times 8 is 8. 10 minus 8 is 2. We add another 0. 20 divided by 8 is 2. 2 times 8 is 16. 20 minus 16 is 4. We add another 0. 40 divided by 8 is 5. 5 times 8 is 40. And 40 minus 40 is 0. Therefore, 8 minus 0.125. And that is, okay, if we subtract 8 minus 0.125, that will be equal to 7.875. Square root of 62 is equal to 7.875. It's your turn. Get your paper and pencil and solve this. Okay, go. What is your answer? If you got 9.65, that means you got correctly. Now let's solve. What is the perfect square closest to 93? So we have either the perfect square lesser than 93 or the perfect square more than 93. And the perfect square lesser than 93 is 9 times 9, rather 9 square is 81. And 10 square is 100. Since 100 is closer to 93, we will use the perfect square closer to our given number. And that is square root of 100 minus 7. Because 100 minus 7 is 93. And square root of 100 is 10 minus 7, double your 10, and that is 20. We will simplify this. 10 minus 7 over 20. So we simplify that. 7 divided by 20. Cannot be, so we add 0, we add another decimal. So 70 divided by 20 is 3, okay? 3. 3 times 20 is 60. 70 minus 60 is 10. We add another 0. Becomes 100. 100 divided by 20 is 5. 5 times 20 is 100. 100 minus 100 is 0. Therefore, 7 over 20 is 0.35. That will be 10 minus 0.35. 10 minus 0.35 is 9.65. Square root of 93 is equal to 9.65. Okay, that's it for today. And I hope you have learned something new on how to get the square root of a non-perfect square. And for those of you who are just with us today, please don't forget to subscribe so that you will be updated with our next topic. Thank you for watching and goodbye.